Alright, time for once again another top 10 list because, damn it, they just keep making video game consoles, don't they? But anyway, this shall be a top 10 DS list since I think the DS has hit the end of its road more or less, except for the Pokemon game coming out, Black and White 2. So, I think this will be fine, you know. I got a Pokemon on here. But anyway, the 3DS is out. The DS is going to go away not too long from now. So, this is my top 10 list. No particular order, just top 10 favorite games. As I've said before, but still got no response because I'm not big on YouTube. Put in the comments, you know, what you think's good or make a response video. So, hope you enjoy. We'll start off with Custom Robo. Definitely a really cool game on the DS. You might recognize it from my top 10 list on the GameCube. Of course, I had to get the other game that released in America for it. Custom Robo, you make robots, you battle other robots. This just kind of refines the system, but it's on the DS. It's the story's not near as good as in the GameCube one, but it's still just good fun. It's got a few better mechanics, maybe, and just overall a great game. Next is a Dragon Quest game. I had to choose between this one and the other one, but I chose Sentinels of the Starry Skies. I didn't bother to look at the Roman numerals, so, you know, I'm going to assume it's like 6 or something, but that's probably wrong. Maybe. Anyway, it's a pretty cool Dragon Quest game. You know, what's cool about it is you get to create your character and your team characters instead of just playing as a dude and meeting other dudes, which is kind of neat. And you know, you just go around and instead of just random battles, you can see the enemies and you can dodge them, which is a neat thing. As you apply armor and weapons, it actually changes the look of the character. Many things to upgrade, many classes of character to choose from. Just overall a fun game, and you can put a lot of time in it if you, you know, like a big investment in your game. So definitely worth a try. Alright, next up, Kirby Superstar Ultra. I had a few games on the DS to choose for Kirby. What was it? Squeak Squad. The newest one where there's like multiple Kirbys. I forget. Mass Attack, I think. But Superstar Ultra is definitely the best out of all of them, which is funny because it came out relatively early for the DS. But it's just Kirby Superstar from the Super Nintendo with a bunch of upgrades and new things. So you got all the old stuff, new graphics too, and the best part, while it's my favorite more or less, you can play as Meta Knight, which is pretty cool. And there's this boss or tournament mode where you can play as the bad guys from the game, which is pretty cool to do because I always love playing as the bad guys in any game. But if you love Kirby Superstar, you'll love this even more. It's very awesome, very fun, classic Kirby. Up next, Bowser, Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, if you will. The third game in the Mario and Luigi series, definitely, it's on par with the first one. The second one was kind of down low, but this one's definitely fantastic. You got all kinds of new moves, a great story, some nice humor in there. And you know, in Bowser's Inside Story, you can shrink with Mario and Luigi inside of Bowser, take control of Bowser for parts of the game, which is very nice. Like I said in the last part, I like playing as bad guys. Pretty challenging, but it can be easy. RPG elements, upgrading, applying, you know, badges and not armor, but, you know, clothing items to increase stats, learning new powers, and saving the princess. Overall, a great Mario experience. Of course, if I'm talking about top 10 DS games, I gotta have Mario Kart DS on there. One of the most popular DS games there are. In fact, I think it's still full price, which is, like, even used, which is ridiculous. Well loved by everyone. Classic Mario Kart, but with all kinds of awesome new levels, all kinds of awesome new characters, and of course there's the, I can't remember if it has online play, but I know you can play with your friends on there. If they don't have a cartridge, they're Shy Guy. If they do, they get to use their dudes. I always played as Rob. He's pretty cool. I love playing as him in the games. And in the games, I mean that in Smash Brothers. But, you know, it's Mario Kart. You got the items, you got the racing, you got the bullshit CPU. So, there you go, and it's awesome. Making my top 10 list on any list that it is released on an Animal Crossing game. This one being Wild World, the second game in the series. Definitely bringing all the innovations in this game, because it and the Wii one, City Folk, are more or less the same game. So this one brought all the innovation until the one on Wii U or 3DS comes out. It makes innovation on the portables. But anyway, classic Animal Crossing, except it introduced, you know, new house levels, new items, new world perspective. Instead of the grid thing from the GameCube one, you got this rolling world deal. New characters like Brewster, that's awesome. Online play, which was a new and exciting experience, and just all kinds of cool things. So, if you like Animal Crossing or The Sims, you should enjoy it. Up next, it was hard to choose between the Ace Attorney games, but I would have probably chose the last one, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm going to choose the last one. I did play Justice for All, Phoenix Wright. You gotta love these games, a staple on the DS. I think they came out on the Advance and then ported them to this. But this is definitely the definitive version. I think they give you extra missions. But Phoenix Wright, you're a lawyer. You go around, you snoop into stuff, you get evidence, you present the evidence, and of course to completely break down the witnesses and their lies, and then you win the case in a miraculous turnabout. Like, against impossible odds, you win because you're awesome. And it gives you a nice sense of achievement to figure this shit out. If you've played L.A. Noire, kind of that deal, but a little more, you know, over the top and silly, and overall just awesome. A game you should try. I had to choose for a Pokemon game for the DS, and of course with all the options that was a difficult choice. You got Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Soul Silver, Heart Gold, and then you got Black and White. But because of the innovations Black and White brought to the series, nothing huge mind you, but stuff big enough for Pokemon to make this title stand out. First of all new Pokemon, which kind of rebirths the initial experience, like, oh, this is cool, you know, I'm learning all this stuff. Some people get turned off by that, but I rather enjoyed it. A bigger story element to the game, which was a very nice change of pace. All kinds of new puzzle aspects for gym battles. Instead of just going straight to the dude after fighting a couple assholes, you actually got to solve puzzles, which is very cool. All kinds of landscape deals with the 3D elements of the DS. Just overall a great game. If you like Pokemon, this is a little, you know, a breath of fresh air if you've been out of the loop for a while, so definitely try it out. Now, next on the list, a Professor Layton game. Really, any of the games in the series could do. I really like the Diabolical Box. I really like The Last Spectre, which is just the picture I chose, basically. I really liked the Curious Village. I really liked the what was the train one called? Maybe that was the Diabolical Box. I know there was one more, and it was fantastic too. There was one with a time machine. But anyway, the Professor Layton series is just a puzzle game. You just solve puzzles. That's all it is. If you like that sort of thing, this is definitely the game for you. If you hate puzzles because you're not good at them or something, don't pick this up. Like, there's nothing else to it. You walk around, it has a nice story, it's got interesting characters and nice artwork. It even has voice acting and cutscenes that are fully animated. Overall, a great package. I chose the picture for this one, The Last Spectre, because I like the little RPG extra that came with it, where you just go around and speak to the characters and do little mundane tasks. I just thought it was a nice little extra, and there are many games in this as well. But like I said, puzzle game, you solve puzzles, you solve riddles, you do tinkering, so on and so forth. Very awesome, very fun, worth a try. Last, but certainly not least, one of my favorite DS games, period, Jump Ultimate Stars. Not Superstars, mind you. Ultimate. But Jump Ultimate Stars is a game not released in America. I imported this game because it takes all your favorite manga and anime characters and goes all Smash Brothers on you. And that's just a great thing. You know what I'm saying? and it also introduced me to a lot of what are now some of my favorite mangas slash animes, which is, you gotta appreciate that. But it's basically a game, like I said, where you gotta learn your way around the menus. Obviously, it's all Japanese, but you got all your favorite characters, more or less. Some as side characters that you don't actually play as, but playable characters can range from Kaneko Man, Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, Naruto, and all of his friends, like Sasuke. Uh, and you can upgrade each character up to a higher level. I can go from normal Naruto to Fox Naruto, the Nine-Tail one. And you can go from, what's another good example? Sasuke can go into his older, like the Shippuden form, which is very cool. And you just, you fight. It's got an interesting system. You got a taunt, you got light attack, a heavy attack, and you can mix these into different combinations. And then you got multiple finishers. And you got to go through the game and do multiple tasks to beat the story mode, which, yeah, you're going to have to look up what to do sometimes if you don't want to figure it out. Most of the time you can just figure it out and go about your way, though. But a very fun game if you like fighting games, if you like animes or mangas. Your favorite characters are probably in there. It's got an interesting system. It's very fun, very interesting, and I wish they would just release one on a major console, because the only two games have been on the DS. So let's hope for that to happen, and you should definitely play it, if anything, on an emulator, but those tend to have bugs, so what are you going to do? That is all for my top 10 DS games list. I hope you got some insight as to some nice games to check out, and then, if not, like I said, comments, video response, what have you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I went a little long with that last game, but I felt like it needed the most explanation. It's probably one of my most favorites. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching if you did, and I'll see you next time.